Hello, everyone, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, where I know you demand your Cowboys content every day, so here we are. I have a mailbag, and a couple of the first things that are going to be mentioned here are Michael Gallup and Kellen Moore. So, number one, this is from Ivan. He said, is someone going to give Gallup a long-term deal after injury, or is it possible to bring him back on a one-year deal? I got to tell you guys, first of all, Stephen Jones talked about Amari Cooper yesterday, and he did say something along the lines of, like, Amari Cooper's numbers and a wide receiver, like, you can't do that job on your own. Schematically, you have to be helped, you have to be blocked for, you have the ball thrown, all these different things. But the door, I think, for the Cowboys is open that Amari Cooper may not be back. And if Amari Cooper is not back and they opt to save money against the cap using Amari Cooper's monies, then things change big time, because now your wide receiver room is essentially CeeDee Lamb and Simi Fehoko. Gallup's free agent. Wilson's a free agent. If you move on from Amari Cooper, you've got basically nothing. And I do think that would open the door, especially with Gallup's injury and the year that he was having prior to it, where you do start to wonder, what is the market for Michael Gallup? And if the situation is right in Dallas, and Dak is a big Gallup guy, Gallup's a big Dak guy, perhaps you have the opportunity there for a one-year deal. Maybe a come off the injury. You have a lot of opportunities here. Go have yourself a little 1,000-yard season. Take another bite at this thing. Maybe you could get Gallup for 1 year between $6 and $10 million. Don't know. Maybe some team is going to give him 4 years and $48 million. We'll see. We'll see what that market looks like. We'll see what Gallup's place is in that market. But I do believe it is possible that Michael Gallup is back on the Cowboys. If Amari Cooper's not here, I think it becomes even more likely that Michael Gallup comes back to the Cowboys, because a prove-it deal becomes pretty darn enticing at that point when you see where the targets are going to go. Schultz is a free agent. Wilson, Cooper, if they get rid of Cooper. It's CeeDee and Michael. That's a glorious opportunity to put up a bunch of numbers and get yourself paid. Now, multiple people are asking me, who is the guy if Kellen Moore gets the Dolphins job, or if Kellen Moore is gone? My answer to that is I would want Mike McCarthy to call the plays. So who becomes the offensive coordinator? I almost don't care. But Doug Nussmeier on the staff, I don't really have the outside names lined up at the moment because I think Kellen Moore will be back. But if he's not, I would want Mike McCarthy to call the plays. That's your background. You're an offensive coach. You've been a play caller. And everybody just loves to kick him in the nuts all the time. Mike McCarthy was a very good play caller. So that's my answer. If Kellen Moore is not here, Mike McCarthy, grab your play sheet, my guy. Let's go get it. Because I got a certain guy that's going to be in a TV studio this year, most likely, waiting in the wings on you. So if you want to keep the job, go call the plays. Show me what you're working with. Now, we got a bunch of draft questions. You guys are sickos. So many draft questions on February 2nd. Parker, Nakobe Dean or Tyler Linderbaum, if both available at number 24. That is the linebacker from Georgia, Nakobe Dean, 6 foot, 225 pounds, runs like the wind, tackles everybody. Tyler Linderbaum, my favorite center prospect since I've been studying the draft the last 8 years. I would take the offensive lineman over the off-the-ball linebacker still, even after the Parsons pick, because I'm an idiot. No, because I think this offensive line is what has to get back on track. Excuse me. If this team is going to be what they want to be, and I think Tyler Linderbaum's going to be a stud. I think he's Jason Kelsey, the Eagles center. I think that's who he is. So Tyler Linderbaum. Who's going to be the pizza party pick this year from Jordan? I have been known to throw a pizza party if the Cowboys pick a guy that I tell them to pick. So for now, I guess the pizza party guy would be Tyler Linderbaum. And then I'll give you names in like the second and third round. Second round, Devontae Wyatt, Georgia defensive tackle. How about that? Give you another name. Who are some safeties that can be the true center field type in case we lose Malik Hooker? Yes, currently the Cowboys depth chart at safety is Donovan Wilson. I guess Israel Mukwamu, if you want to count him. Names so far, Daxton Hill, Michigan. I think he'll be a first-round pick. Second round, and maybe these guys get pushed up near the first round. Lewis Seen, Georgia, I think has the movement, the athleticism to be the free safety. I don't totally trust him in that role at this point. I trust him to run downhill and break people and be okay in coverage, but he'll get better. And Jaquan Brisker, Penn State. Those are three names that you may know at safety, according to me, that you need to know. Who is the dream player that can realistically fall to 24? That would be sick. It's not one player. I gave you a bunch of names yesterday. Let's see. So let's just say dream players. Center, Tyler Linderbaum, Iowa. Offensive guard, Kenyon Green, Texas A&M. Who else is a dream? Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. Maybe Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas. How about Derek Stingley, LSU corner? Let's get him to fall to 24. We'll work through it. We'll get to the bottom of this. That's pizza party question. Seems like a yearly question. This is from Nachos. Do they stand firm at 24, or is there someone they'll fall in love with worth trading up for? I don't know if you have met me yet. I don't trade up, okay? And I guess you want Cowboys info. Is it possible that they trade up? Sure, it's possible. I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. I am Captain Trade Down. Having all the picks between the 30s and the 60s, that's where I want to live. This draft class might be. I saw my guy Ben Solak. I think he's at the Ringer now. I saw him talking about how this might be the 2013 draft class where you go through it and it's like, yee. Like it's not a top-heavy class. It's not full of blue chip guys. It's full of a bunch of good players. So I want all the picks. I had to revamp my Captain Trade Down t-shirt. Come out with a new design for you guys for this year. What comp picks are you expecting? I believe the Cowboys will have one comp pick. I forget if it's going to be a fourth or a fifth rounder because they signed a lot of free agents, which canceled out a bunch of the guys that they lost. But I think the Andy Dalton one will end up getting you, I don't remember if it's a 4 or a 5, but you should have one extra pick. Will the Cowboys look to use a late pick on a kicker? From James. Do you want the answer to that? I have a sneaking suspicion that Bones Fossil's guy, Greg Zuerlein, might have saved his job by not missing a kick the last couple of weeks. It might drive people nuts, but here's the facts. Greg the Leg made 83% of his kicks, which is about dead balls on average in the NFL. He missed a bunch of extra points. Will Bones Fossil be forced to get rid of his kicker because he missed extra points? I'm starting to think no, because he made him the last couple weeks. Bones will go in there and he'll tell Jerry or Mike or whoever, he'll just be like, oh no, my guy, he was coming off the back thing and he was blah, 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 blah. Look, end of the year, he was great. He was incredible. That's my guy. Bones is going to talk his way into keeping Greg Zuerlein. I believe that. Is there a Kyle Pitts type of tight end in this draft from Frankie J? Nope. Outlaw, how's the linebacker draft class? Looks good. My guy Yaya Dubin. Is this draft class better at tackle or interior O-line? Yes. It's a good offensive line class. You're happy to be a part of it. From a guy named Jeff. Are you done with Kellen Moore? Or do you think he can get much better considering he's very young? Look, I have to do all the disclaimers and apologize every time that I offer any opinions here. But I know that most people are done with Kellen Moore and they think he's a stupid head. I don't necessarily think Kellen's a stupid head. If he got another job, I'd be fine with it. Wouldn't worry me one bit. Say, okay, that's fine. We can figure this thing out. No problem. If he's back, I go, okay. He's had success. I'll say it again. The 2 years that Dak's been a starting quarterback, they've been first in the league in yards and first in the league in yards. They've been first in the league in points and sixth in the league in points, I believe are the two numbers. So we could just say, I guess, that the Dallas Cowboys players are so awesome or pretend that they were awful both years and getting their ass kicked all the time and just got free yards every week. Or you could blame the bad division. So I guess there are ways around that. The real reason they're probably number one in yards is they play at the highest pace in the league. So that is part of it. But you haven't had an unsuccessful bad offense. We went through a 2-month stretch of inconsistent offense where they stopped being able to block, and we got mad that he wouldn't run outside and that they couldn't figure out how to beat 4-man rushes dropping 7 when they couldn't block the 4. And that's just hard. It's hard for a quarterback to have success in that scenario, and it's hard for a coordinator to draw up the get 4 guys open on 7 guys really quickly plays. So I'm not done with Kellen Moore. I think there's a chance that he's a good offensive coordinator. Like everybody else, I hated the inconsistent results over the last couple of months of the year, and you've got to figure out how an offensive line that is made up of mostly good players or okay players could perform so badly / inconsistently. You have to be able to run the ball. When teams are playing you with a light box and dropping everybody in the coverage and you still can't run the ball, the offensive coordinator's in trouble, and so is the quarterback. All right, leave in the comments at youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh what you want to hear about tomorrow. Also, you can check there for my conversation with Dane Brugler last night if you are way into the draft. He knows too much. It's early February. I'm still working my way. Today's therapy day for me, so I've got to go. I'm on my way there. If you're a fellow therapy person, I love you, my teammate. Remember, you have no idea what people are going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Bye.